Have you ever felt a part of yourself you'd rather keep hidden? A flicker of anger, a secret fear, or a desire you're ashamed to admit? What if that hidden part isn't just a flaw, but a key to unlocking your true potential? Today, we're exploring the shadow, Carl Jung's darkest and most profound idea. In the next 30 minutes, you'll discover why facing this hidden side of yourself can change your life. Stay with me. This is a journey into the depths of who you are. Let's start with a question. Have you ever caught yourself reacting in a way that surprised you? Maybe you lashed out at someone you love, or felt a pang of envy you didn't expect. These moments aren't random. They're glimpses of what Carl Jung called the shadow, the part of your psyche you've pushed into the dark. On Sofran, Live Rational, Live Free, we're all about living authentically, and the shadow is at the heart of that journey. It's not just your flaws, it's everything you've hidden, from your deepest fears to your greatest potential. Jung, one of psychology's greatest minds, believed the shadow is both dangerous and transformative. Ignore it, and it controls you. Embrace it, and it becomes a source of wisdom. In this beginner-friendly guide, we'll unpack what the shadow is, why it's Jung's darkest idea, and how facing it can lead to personal growth and freedom. By the end, you'll have practical tools to confront your shadow and live more fully as yourself. Ready to step into the dark and find the light? Let's go. So why should you care about the shadow? Let's get real for a moment. Have you ever felt like there's a part of you that's holding you back, but you can't quite put your finger on it? Maybe it's a nagging sense of guilt, a fear that stops you from chasing your dreams, or a sudden burst of anger that catches you off guard. These aren't just quirks. They're your shadow, the hidden parts of your psyche you've buried because they don't fit the person you want to be. The shadow is like the attic of your mind, stuffed with everything you've pushed out of sight. Your insecurities, your suppressed desires, even the traits you admire but don't think you deserve. But here's the problem. Hiding those things doesn't make them go away. They linger, influencing your choices in ways you might not even notice. Jung warned that an unacknowledged shadow doesn't just hurt you. It shapes your life and the world around you, often in destructive ways. Picture this. Your mind is like a stage. The spotlight shines on the parts of you that you show the world, your kindness, your ambition, your best self. But in the wings, just out of sight, the shadow waits. It's the actor you've written out of the script, but it still knows its lines. And when you least expect it, it steps into the spotlight, maybe as a moment of self-doubt that stops you from taking a risk, or a harsh judgment you project onto someone else. This shows up in everyday life. Maybe you procrastinate on a project because your shadow whispers, "You'll fail." Or maybe you get irritated when someone seems too confident, only to realize you're suppressing your own desire to shine. I've been there, judging someone for being selfish, then catching myself acting the same way in private. It's uncomfortable, but it's a clue. The shadow is always there, pulling strings behind the scenes. This isn't just a personal issue, it's universal. Jung believed the shadow exists in individuals and societies. When we collectively deny our darker traits, greed, fear, anger, they don't disappear. They fuel conflicts, from personal grudges to global divisions. Think about how people point fingers, blaming others for problems they refuse to see in themselves. Jung's darkest idea was this: the shadow, if not confronted, becomes a collective danger. Unacknowledged, it drives wars, prejudice, and chaos. The cost of ignoring your shadow is steep. Personally, it keeps you trapped in cycles, self-sabotage, guilt, or feeling like you're not enough. You might avoid opportunities because of a hidden fear, or push people away because of unacknowledged anger. Collectively, it creates a world where we're quick to judge and slow to understand. But here's the hope. By facing your shadow, you can break those cycles. You can live more authentically and help create a more conscious world. Let's dive into what the shadow really is and why it's so powerful. Psychological, philosophical insights. To understand the shadow, we need to enter Carl Jung's world. Jung was a Swiss psychologist who saw the psyche as a vast, layered landscape. At its deepest level is the collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of human experience filled with archetypes, universal patterns that shape our lives. The shadow is one of these archetypes, but it's the most challenging because it's everything we've hidden from ourselves. Our fears, our shame, our suppressed desires, even our untapped strengths. Jung described the shadow as the person you'd rather not be. It's not just your bad traits, it's anything that doesn't fit your conscious self-image. If you see yourself as patient, your shadow might hold your hidden impatience. If you pride yourself on independence, it might carry your secret need for connection. But here's the key. The shadow isn't evil. It's a natural part of you, and it holds wisdom, if you're brave enough to look at it. Let's make this real with an example. Imagine you're someone who values being nice. You're always polite, always accommodating. But lately, you've been feeling resentful, maybe even snapping at people unexpectedly. That's your shadow. It might be holding your unacknowledged anger or your suppressed need to set boundaries. One person I know was like this, always the peacemaker, until they started having dreams about a raging warrior. When they explored it, they realized their shadow was begging them to stand up for themselves. That insight led them to say no to toxic demands, which transformed their relationships. Here's another scenario. Say you're quick to criticize people who seem arrogant. You roll your eyes at their confidence, but deep down, you feel a twinge of envy. That's your shadow projecting outward. Jung believed that what we dislike in others often mirrors what we've denied in ourselves. If you're annoyed by someone's arrogance, maybe your shadow is holding your own desire to be seen and celebrated. By recognizing this, you can start owning that desire instead of projecting it, which leads to greater self-awareness and healthier interactions. Why is the shadow Jung's darkest idea? Because it's not just personal, it's collective. The shadow exists in groups, cultures, even nations. When we collectively deny our flaws, greed, fear, aggression, they manifest as division and conflict. Jung saw this in the wars of his time, where groups projected their shadows onto the other, fueling hatred and destruction. His warning was stark. If you do not make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. The shadow, left unchecked, becomes a force of chaos. Let's bring in a philosophical perspective. Friedrich Nietzsche spoke of the will to power, the drive to create and become your fullest self. But you can't tap into that power if you're denying half of who you are. The shadow holds the raw energy, your fears, your passions, your flaws, that you need to live authentically. Ignoring it is like trying to build a house without a foundation. But embracing it, that's where real transformation happens. The cost of ignoring the shadow is profound. Personally, it keeps you stuck in patterns, procrastination, conflict, or feeling disconnected from your true self. You might avoid risks because of a hidden fear, or push away love because of unacknowledged shame. Collectively, it creates a world where we blame others instead of looking inward. But when you face your shadow, you reclaim your power. You start to see your flaws as teachers, your fears as guides. It's like stepping into that attic and finding not just cobwebs, but treasures you never knew you had. Practical advice and transformation. So how do you face your shadow? It's not about wallowing in guilt or fighting your flaws. It's about meeting them with curiosity and courage. Here are 4 practical steps to start working with your shadow. rooted in Jung's ideas and designed to help you live rationally and freely. As we say on Sovereign, live rational, live free. Step 1. Identify your triggers. The shadow often reveals itself in what triggers you. Start noticing moments when you feel strong emotions, like irritation, jealousy, or shame. Maybe you get annoyed when someone brags, or you feel defensive when criticized. Write down the situation and ask, why does this bother me so much? For example, if you judge someone's neediness, could it be because you're suppressing your own need for support? These triggers are like breadcrumbs leading to your shadow. Keep a journal for a week and note what comes up. Step 2. Look at your dreams. Dreams are a direct window into the shadow because the collective unconscious speaks through symbols. Keep a notebook by your bed and write down any dreams that feel vivid or unsettling, especially ones with dark figures, monsters, or conflicts. For example, a dream about a shadowy stranger might be your shadow archetype. Ask, what does this figure represent? Is it a fear, a trait, or a desire I've ignored? Don't worry about decoding it perfectly. Just note what feels significant. This is like opening a conversation with your unconscious. Step 3. Engage in active imagination. This is where you dive deeper using Jung's technique of active imagination. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and visualize your shadow. Maybe as a figure from a dream or a feeling, like anger or fear. Picture it vividly. Is it a person, an animal, a dark cloud? Ask it, what are you here to teach me? Or, what do you want? Let it respond naturally. Don't force the answers. You might hear words, see a scene, or feel a shift. For example, one person visualized their shadow as a snarling wolf and learned it was their suppressed frustration. That insight helped them start expressing their needs. Write down or speak your experience to make it real. Step 4. Integrate your shadow. The final step is to bring your shadow into your life, not by acting out its negative traits, but by accepting and learning from them. After noticing a trigger or dialoguing with your shadow, reflect. What's the lesson? If your shadow revealed a fear of rejection, maybe you take a small step, like sharing an idea at work. If it showed suppressed ambition, maybe you set a new goal. Integration means owning your shadow as part of you. For example, if you discover envy, channel it into motivation to pursue your dreams. Start with one small action to ground the insight. Step. Quick tip. Go slow. Facing the shadow can feel intense, so start with 5 minutes of journaling or reflection. The goal is to build a relationship with your shadow, not to fix it. Over time, you'll find it's not a monster, it's a guide, leading you toward a more authentic life. Let's bring this home. The shadow, Carl Jung's darkest idea, isn't just a concept. It's a call to face the parts of yourself you've hidden and transform them into sources of strength. Jung believed that by embracing the shadow, you not only heal yourself, but contribute to a more conscious world. It's about breaking free from the cycles of fear, shame, and projection to live with courage and authenticity. Imagine what your life could look like if you stopped running from your shadow. Maybe you'd finally chase that dream you've buried. Maybe you'd let go of guilt and embrace your full self. Or maybe you just feel freer, knowing you're not hiding anymore. You have the power to step into the dark and find the light within. Here's my challenge to you. This week, try one of the steps we talked about. Notice a trigger, write down a dream, or dialogue with your shadow for 10 minutes. See what it reveals. Then come back here and write in the comments, "I embrace my shadow." Share what you discovered. It might inspire someone else to take that step. If this video resonated, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to join Safran Live Rational Live. Live free for more content on living rationally and freely. For a deeper dive into the shadow, check out Man and His Symbols by Carl Jung. There's a link in the description. And if you want to keep exploring, watch our video on Archetypes Explained, a beginner's guide next. It's the perfect companion to this journey. Your shadow isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. What will you learn when you face it?